We're gonna do our sound check right now, and the scene marker. In 3, 2, 1. Let's do that one more time. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Bam. Second one is where it's at. Editing me. Check it out. All right. So edit that out. I've learned that I can make my job easier if I don't say and I'm better at organizing my speech and just speaking fluently and kind of in a stream of thought rather than having to stop every 5 seconds to say Makes my job a lot easier when I'm editing these, but I'm still going to be saying it a lot, so we'll see what's up. But thank you for joining this episode of The Session. Man, that first episode was crazy. I'm super glad that we we got a lot of good feedback from that. Got a lot of homies who wanted to touch down. Happy to have the second episode that we have here. It's the only second episode that we will be doing, so you better stay tuned. We got a very special guest, my homie Flannel Lewis here. He's going to be speaking on some of his experiences as an artist, and also going to be gracing us a little bit later with a little set. So stick around and see why I personally think that my homie here is one of the most talented, not only like producers, but just lyricists. He's got a visual eye for detail, definitely like shot composition, with like directing and stuff like that, his visual endeavors as a like pen and paper artist, super crazy. So we're gonna go into that, and I'll be posting or editing in inserts of art that he's done somewhere around here. So we'll keep an eye out for that. And I got my interview questions here, so nobody give me shit about being on my phone. I'm not on my phone. What am I going to do? Write down my questions? I'm doing my job. Okay, so homie Flannel Lewis, you can find him on most streaming services as Flannel Lewis. You know, you can check him out on most streaming services. He also is in a collaborative outfit with the homie who was here last time, Eddie Branch. They are in a duo called Maggie. I'm going to get them both on here as like a duo and interview them and have them put on a little set for us as well.
That'd be sweet. But
you're also in a 4-piece group called Quiet to Quiet as well.
Yes.
So
that is where I feel like the most music comes out of, is probably Quiet to Quiet.
Yeah. And so I'll touch down on that a little bit. I didn't want to ask like the same necessary questions that I asked Kevin, but I feel like it is, I don't know, there's some similarities in what like I have interest in when y'all are working in collaborative groups, because like I mentioned last time, I don't work a lot in like power groups like that. Yeah, I know y'all like they called y'all a super group.
Yeah, they called us a super group for the Gaish show.
Okay,
which I thought was so funny. I was like, that's awesome.
I took it as a compliment.
Yeah, it was a good time too. You can check him out there. Links as always will be in the description down below. You know, this is always as it is going to be just like a nice casual session, so nothing too serious. But I at least want to put my homies on and turn as many people onto their music and what they're doing as I can. So
no, it's an honor. It's an honor to come on too. I love. I think it's a really cool thing that you're doing.
Yeah,
I think it's dope.
Thank you,
especially for like local people who don't really get the recognition that they deserve. Not talking about myself. I'm more so mean like Kev, fucking perp.
Yeah, the people who I have in mind too are people that like we know are talented.
Yeah.
The people who come out to shows and see them perform live know that they're talented, but it is something where, it's the more eyes, the better, and making the platform to have those acts be heard and stuff. I feel like that's a admirable goal that I want to see through and hopefully, get my homies some more fans.
That's tight.
There's some good
badass.
There's some good fucking artists. So we met probably back in like 2017 or 2018 maybe.
That probably would have been.
It was like a summer.
Would that have been the show at the Mez on O Street?
No, low key. I think the first time I met you, man, I want to say you came over to my crib with a mutual friend.
Oh yeah.
I think it was either Eddie Branch
I bet
or
it was.
Were you hanging out with like Net?
Kind of, but like
Because I want to say like
I
me
bet
and
it was I bet it was Kev. I bet it was Kev.
because I was at my house.
Yeah.
I was doing garden work in the back, and somebody came back and was like,
remember that.
"Yo, yeah, this is the homie Flannel Lewis. Like, I just met him at this show or something like that." And
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh shit,
Kev and I met because Kev worked at Ivana Cone
okay."
and I worked at Crescent Moon, and I feel like he came in, or my memory is awful. I feel like that had something to do with how we met. I met, yeah, but yeah,
Okay.
or through a show or something.
Yeah,
but.
yeah. But so, I'm just gonna say for the books, it was probably Kevin. So you, and
I bet it
Kevin
was
came
Kevin,
over, and yeah, it was just like, oh yeah, this is my homie. You know, he makes beats and stuff like that. I think we chilled maybe like during that same session, just like fucked around with some beats and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Instantly became fast homies.
Oh yeah, yeah. It
So,
was that was
yeah,
yeah.
Ever since then, it's been a lock. This is one of my very good friends. I'm definitely lucky to have you kicking it in the life creatively. So just
Thank
wanted
you.
to share a little bit of like where we're coming from as homies, where I met you.
It's cool too because I feel like you were the first big producer homie that I met. You know what I mean? Like really like production heavy homie that I met.
And wanting
I-
to like put y'all on like you and Kevin.
Yeah, well, and not only just like not even just like making music together, but just like down to show me new stuff. I found out about a lot of Inner Ocean stuff from you,
yeah.
and a lot of the beat scene stuff you introduced me to. So that was that was pretty.
I mean,
Yeah.
again, like I said, there's a wealth of information out there, and no one person can find it all or enjoy it all. So you might as well share it while you can. But you just got to know who you're sharing it with. You don't want to just go sharing gems with every individual who doesn't see the forest for the trees type of shit.
Yeah.
So you really gotta
Yeah.
know and cultivate who your friends are.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of funny to have that weird like if you meet someone you think they're cool and like you're like making music together.
Yeah.
Like, man, I want to show you this thing that I found, but like also I don't know if I want to share it with you yet. Like
yeah. Yeah, it's weird, but I never feel that tinge when I'm chatting it up with y'all.
Right.
It's like
I agree.
honestly too, it's fairly relieving when I have some homies who in my mind are a little bit more talented or can work in a more productive way than me, that I can be like, yo, I got a sick ass track that I know just can be flipped super well, but I can't do it. So, you slide it to the homies, let them work, see what they can do. I wanted to ask, I'm sure you've probably told me before, but where did like the name Flannel Lewis come from?
Bro, I get that question quite a bit.
Okay.
And I'm going to say shout out to my homie Kevin Anderson.
Okay.
I hope you watch this. I love you.
Fucking better comment below Kevin Anderson.
Kevin, you better watch this. I love you. I lived with him, my fiance Brittany, Cameron, and Kate, who are just a few really close friends. This was obviously it was a while ago, like prior to meeting you. Whenever, whatever. I don't know how I came up with it. Obviously, I'm a big Tyler the Creator, Earl Sweatshirt, and Staples.
Yeah.
The theme fits, you know what I mean? And
fit.
I think that was definitely a huge factor. I just remember being in our living room and Kevin was sitting on the couch and I was like, I really want to change my name. And he was like, yeah, like that, like, what do you mean? Like, you don't like it? And it was, I don't want to say what it used to be because it's stupid as fuck. But,
well, somebody out there will dig it up.
Yeah, eventually. I hope so. Yeah, that'd be sick.
That's the price of becoming a little bit famous.
That'd be hilarious.
Getting some clout.
Yeah,
they'll dig it up.
If someone can find that, I'll send you a free beat. you can find out what I used to
at your own discretion, though.
Yeah,
don't go blasting it.
Yeah, but I told him, I was like, I really feel like changing my name, and he's like, what do you like? And I already had it, like, before I told him I wanted to change it, I already had it picked out, but I said it, and he was like, bro, that's awesome, like, that's perfect. And it's just been Flannel Lewis ever since. I have no idea like where it came from. I don't know.
It has such like a I forget the term, but it just rolls off the tongue in such a way where it's like it's pleasing to the ear.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I mean, you know, I fuck with the idea coming or the name coming from nothing.
Yeah.
Essentially,
I
because
mean, like I said, I probably just ripped off like Earl and Vince. You know what I mean? Like it's in the same vein.
paying homage is
Sure.
different maybe than ripping off. You know,
But you know, it was definitely like I'm such a nerd about like that part of rap. I don't like to say I'm a student of the game because like I'm pretty like I don't like to say that.
Yeah.
Just because like I know that I can always learn more about music, especially.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I know that I don't know.
Yeah,
For sure. So
that's your known unknown.
yeah, for sure.
You don't know.
I know I don't know about that shit. So and I feel like when I started making beats was like right out of high school when I graduated. It was like 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like Wolf had just dropped. You know, I don't like shit. I don't go outside. Came out like the year after, I think 14 or 15.
Even I think didn't Doris too?
Doris came out in I think that might have been like 2012, 2013. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm so bad with years, but you know, that was what I was super into, and A$AP Rock, and like that era, like Definitive Jux.
Yeah.
Like I was into a lot of those guys, and so I feel like coming from like Pierce, Nebraska.
Yeah.
You know, where there's less than 2,000 people. I didn't have
small town.
I didn't I didn't really have a big frame of reference for like hip hop, I guess.
Okay.
So, when I heard those guys, it was just like, wow, that's what I really gravitated.
Yeah. Did you like spend time on like online forums or blogs or anything like that to find out about them? Because that's how I found out about Odd Future was clicking, I think
story,
like Stereo Gum.
Oh, okay,
or
fire.
some shit like that, like back in the day.
So
undergroundhiphopblog.net.
Yeah, it's super weird. I used to actually be on a bunch of blogs for like metal sites.
True.
I was really, really into like prog metal and like gent. I know that's not a genre. I know that's not a genre, and people hate that.
No, that's funny.
So I found out a lot about a lot of metal that way.
Okay.
But as far as hip hop goes, I got like I was really into art. I was really into painting for a really long time, and there's this artist named Alex Pardee.
Okay.
Who was like that was my muse for like all of high school pretty much. That was the dude that I looked at for a lot of shit. And he did covers for this rapper named Cage, and he did covers for A$AP Rock.
Okay.
And I found those two, and then a couple other guys from Definitive Jux. Like I can't even name anybody. I know Yak Balls is somebody.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's a couple people, but that was that side of hip hop that I got introduced to, which I feel like was fairly underground for where I was at. Like whatever.
Yeah.
And then I graduated high school, was still playing a bunch of metal stuff, and this was like when I found those guys, probably like 2011, 2012.
Okay.
Graduated 2013, and then I met Brittany. And her family, like her mom was living with like her boyfriend, and then a couple of his friends were staying there, and they were all super cool. But one of the kids staying there, his name was Chase. He used to make beats and stuff by this moniker Psychonaut or whatever.
Okay.
And he introduced me to like Earl's stuff. I didn't really like Earl's stuff at first for some reason, and Wolf had just dropped. Him and I, that was like our mutual bond. Was like, damn, you like Wolf?
Tyler,
I love
creator,
Tyler.
yeah.
Like, holy shit. And then through him, that was where I found out about MF Doom. And then, you know, Jay Dilla started pouring out. And then that's all the staple beat makers.
Well, and it's nice that you're doing the work in that sense where it's like you're not just stopping at the one artist you like. I know a lot of people ask like, oh, how do you find music, or how do you like find things to sample or find new artists that you like and stuff like that. And I feel like a great jumping off point is finding, you know, like one artist that you do enjoy that you maybe haven't heard typically or something like that. So like in this case, Tyler, the Creator.
Sure.
And then looking at like, okay, well, who is like their inspirations?
Yeah.
Who have they worked with, or what samples do they use? Because I know like even like in the old OF tapes, they were using, you know, like Alchemist just rips and stuff from YouTube or just random beats and shit like that, because it was just a mixtape. So I feel like that's always a good way to explore and get a better musical range and taste when you throw out a wider net.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Yeah.
Horrible segue, but so you had mentioned, I guess not a horrible segue. Edit that out. This is a good segue. You had mentioned that you were in a were like into metal stuff and stuff like that. So where would you say like your creative journey like began? Was it with like artistry or was it in like music?
I feel like my dad played music since I was born.
Yeah.
He's been playing in bands literally like my whole life. So that was a huge introduction, and my dad was a huge Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix, B.B. King.
Okay.
Prince. You know, we listen to a lot of stuff. I feel like those are guitar players. Like that's usually what I'm thinking of, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But you know, like you're talking about B.B. King and even Prince and
Muddy Waters,
Stevie Ray Vaughan. Those are, you know, I would say innovators in their craft.
Yeah. And you know, that was what my dad was always
You're not
playing.
just listening to Hank Williams.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we fucking weren't just playing like radio hits and shit. Like, you know, my dad, I mean, maybe a little bit, but look, my dad had a little bit of knowledge to the point where he was like, I'm down to give as much as I can to you, you know? And my dad, he garnered a lot in me, I'd say, as far as music goes. Maybe not so much in like teaching me like how to play music, but more so I feel like my dad really taught me how to appreciate music.
Yeah.
You know, he taught me how to like, my dad like, and he knows I sample shit, and I know that he doesn't like it. And it's not because he thinks it's like lazy or anything. I don't think it's like that. I think it's more so that it's like a respect thing about music where it's like, you don't want to fix something if it's not broken type of thing, you know? I don't know if that's really what it is. I've never actually sat down and had a conversation about it with him.
Okay.
I'm just speculating. That,
true.
You know, whatever.
I could see that, though.
You know, but that was the biggest thing about him is he really, really taught me how to respect music and to like how to listen to it. He also taught me, he was a huge practice and performer teacher. I am kind of a gnarly asshole on stage. Not like I'm a dick, but like I have a lot of energy on stage, and that's from him. Like my dad really, really like was always focused on like, hey man, like you need to, like if you want to learn that stuff, great. Like you need to practice it till you can play it in your sleep. And then once that's done, you need to make sure that while you're playing it, you don't need to look at it.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to second guess like what's coming next or whatever.
Looking down,
any of it,
or anything like
whatever. And you know, I was playing guitar mostly when I was younger.
Okay.
Up until, I mean, I still play guitar, but like that was like a big. I was playing like in bands and stuff, metal bands, whatever.
Yeah.
And I played guitar, and then like obviously I did a lot of like screaming.
Yeah, we've touched on that a little bit.
But he was super supportive of all of it. Like,
sick.
And I think he was just like hyped that I was like taking something that he also loved and like finding my own path in it, and seeing like, damn, like my fucking son loves this shit too. It may not be the same, but it is like, you know, so
it's like a beautiful like generational passing of the baton.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's really where it started, was with him. Like I give a lot of credit to music to him for sure.
Okay. So then when did you find like drawing or illustrating?
Fuck. In Flames. A sense of purpose. I can pinpoint this day. Okay. My dad took me to Hastings. It was the first CD he ever let me pick out myself. Didn't know what it was. I had no fucking idea. I think it was like 13 or 14. And I was like, the people I was hanging out with at the time, we were listening to like Slipknot, Mushroomhead.
Yeah. That new metal kind of like
Korn, you know.
Weird introduction to like maybe some rudimentary electronic stuff.
Yeah,
too,
definitely.
Especially with like Mushroomhead.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, definitely. I can't. Yes. But we went to Hastings.
I love that.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Hastings. I hope younger people watch this. They're like, what's Hastings? Yeah. Took me to Hastings, and I just remember being like, I'm going to get a CD. And he was like, yeah, bro, pick a CD out, whatever you want. I don't care. My dad was also a really firm believer of like, he's not gonna censor my music that I'm listening to.
Yeah.
Like he's not like, you know, like
He
even
knows
if
that music isn't a boogeyman. That
no,
will, like,
dude,
change
it's
you. Yeah.
and it's also fucking subjective. Like, whatever, you know. He's not about to like not let me get a CD because someone says fuck and bitch in it. Like
Yeah.
that's just not. That's I feel like that would be so corny, especially if like your child is very interested in playing music and being a part of music. Like,
Yeah.
why would you diminish that? Yeah, whatever. So I picked that out, and that cover was an Alex Party piece.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was an Alex Party piece, first piece I ever saw, and I was like, dude, wow, like someone did that, someone drew that by hand, and he has his obviously his signature on the piece, but they have in the booklet, which gosh, if anybody knows what this is anymore, the cover inlay,
of
a CD. Pull it out, unfold it, whatever, and it was sick. It was basically like Pan's Labyrinth, like reimagined.
Okay.
And it was this like character with this like beak and white eyes, and like I'll pull it up for you at some point. And
Okay.
maybe put it
Yeah.
up I hope you put.
I hope you put some visual representation.
Definitely, because it's so cool, and like that was like where I was like, holy fucking shit, I really love this.
Okay.
I really love album art. That's what's so cool about art and music for me personally, is that the love came together. Like it didn't come as like one thing first and then another thing. Like the music
Hand in
came
hand.
and as the music was coming, the art was like, hey, this is also, it's basically the one thing, you know? So
That's what a beautiful kind of like melding of the worlds.
yeah.
Some people, I feel like, you know, feel like maybe that they can only put time and practice into one of those skills.
Oh yeah.
And maybe as a result of that feel like they get diminished returns when they try the one that they don't maybe pursue as their main skill or trade.
Yeah.
But
isn't there like a saying where it's like it's like a master of none or
like jack of all trades,
whatever
master
the
of
fuck
none.
That is.
There's like
there's so
8
many different
lines
iterations
to
of it. Yeah,
too.
right. And like my thing is like I feel like if you love a bunch of stuff, like you should just like do it all. And why just do it all?
Yeah.
It's cool. I think there's something to be said about spreading yourself too thin and then like putting pressure on yourself to like
Definitely.
I need to get this. You know what I mean? Like you can't like me and my friend Coda Clef, shout out Coda Clef.
Okay.
Go check out his music, his art. He's amazing. We were just having this conversation actually just the other day about how like he and I both, we do the same shit where we're making these videos and we're making all this music and we're trying to do all these different things all at once and like mash it all together.
Yeah.
And like you spread yourself so thin sometimes, like I feel like that is maybe where people can get discouraged too.
Yeah.
Discouraged as well. It's like, but I think if you just get on a decent, like, if you get on a decent schedule and just make yourself not feel guilty about not doing something.
Yeah, definitely give yourself breathing room. Because
Yeah,
you
100%.
You give enough breathing room to all these fuckers who are taking your time and giving you poor money in
Yeah.
return. Give yourself some breathing room.
Yes, absolutely. See, that's another thing too, right? Like I'll spend so much time doing stupid shit and then be mad at myself when I want to take a break from
Yep.
something specific. It's
God
like,
forbid.
Yeah.
Well, hey, so I think we have a word from our sponsor real quick, so I'm going to shoot it over to them, but then we're going to be right back with some more questions with the homie Flannel Lewis. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for panning to me, guys. I hope the interview's going well. As you can see, I'm out here enjoying nature, and it is...
Sorry about that. Our sponsor wasn't ready, so we're just gonna go back into the interview. We'll touch back in with that later. Sorry about that. Okay, so kind of segueing into my next question, you were talking about like how the art and the music kind of came hand in hand.
Yeah.
Is there a way you think that being a visual artist helps you create music?
I feel like it's actually the other way around.
You think being a musical artist helps you?
me visually. Maybe it's not like that for some people. It's probably different for a lot of people. You know?
I'm sure.
But like I can't really do it with all of my beats just because obviously like I don't like all of my stuff. But like I mean, there's stuff where I could like I feel and anybody can do it too.
Yeah.
Like if you like movies a lot or you like music videos a lot, like it's really easy to like, you know, kind of close your eyes during just like an instrumental and then like kind of like imagine a scene.
Well, so hold on,
whatever.
because now this is getting into something that I talk about from time to time with people, but a lot of people don't have an imagination. A lot of people can't close their eyes and picture things.
I guess that's true.
It's just black.
That's true. I got a buddy.
So, I mean, I can, and it sounds like you can as well. So, I mean, like, shouts out, but...
Yeah, I got a buddy who's like, I don't got an inner monologue.
No, yeah, see, the people who... I mean, my God.
You're an NPC. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But,
That's funny.
okay, fair. Yeah, I guess that's how it is for me. Like,
Yeah. So that's cool that
Yeah.
you are able to, you know, allow your creativity and your imagination to still work for you.
Yeah. I also think that comes with like people who really enjoy film and people who really enjoy animation and people who really enjoy like music videos. Anything that has to do with like cinematography or like things like that.
Shot composition.
Where you can create scenes in like like storytell with visual representation. Like I think a lot of people have that kind of eye as well, where you're like, you can like kind of, you don't really need to see a shot, I guess, to be like, if someone described it to you, you could like close your eyes and be like, okay, I think you know, for the most part.
Exactly. Okay.
But that comes for me with music. I feel like music will like, I can like chords bring feeling a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it comes from for me.
Okay.
Art wise, is I would say the music brings it in. I mean, I don't. That's another thing too. I don't need like a specific thing to do art or whatever.
Okay.
I know that there are some people who like. I've heard like people like seen tweets or whatever. From people be like, oh man, I can't draw unless I'm this, or I can't do this unless I'm this.
Yeah.
Like,
giving themselves prerequisites that they need to hit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or like the who said it? I have beat block, right? Like I can't make any music right now. That sounds ridiculous.
Hey, they need to call that something else.
They need to call that something else. But yeah, like, oh, I can't make any beats right now. Like I have an artist block right now. I can't make anything. I don't remember who it was.
It was probably me. I probably said, hey, I got beat block right now. I don't fucking want to make anything.
They're basically just like, how do you have artist block when you like you just fucking make something, like you don't need
that's what it is.
You don't need to feel inspired to like make a thing.
Yeah, and you know, people are always fishing for gold. They want what they're making to be the best thing ever, and you know,
I'm guilty of that. I can't even lie.
Oh yeah,
like,
me too.
Like
but the sooner you get used to the fact that you're gonna make some fucking trash in the pursuit of making something amazing, the process gets infinitely easier. And yeah, sometimes sessions are just getting out the trash.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like, I was doing this thing where I was like, I was telling you about it. Kalen Ellis had this whole challenge where it was like, you make 3 beats a day, 30 minutes, you spend 30 minutes on each beat. As soon as the 30 minutes is up, you dip out, do another beat.
Yep.
Like, at first, it's like, fucking Christ. Like, I am so time constrict.
But you
There's
find
so
a
many time
workflow.
constraints. Like, yeah, and then you start to find your workflow, and you're like, oh, man, like, this is just, I'm just getting out ideas at this point. Like, I'm not trying to fucking make this huge hit. I'm trying to get ideas out. The more ideas you get out, I feel like the more your brain starts to hit that, like, cycle of being like, okay, like, I know what I like. I know what works for my music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned I'm gonna fuck up his name, Alex Portnoy.
Alex Pardee.
Pardee.
Yeah.
What are some other like just general illustrator influences on your style? Do you think?
Oh man, McKay Felt.
Yeah, McKay Felt's sick.
He's amazing. James Jean, Kim Jung-gi.
Okay.
Our rest in peace, of course.
Yeah.
Anybody from the CragCon, Joran Riot, Crab the God.
Okay. I've seen the Crab homies.
Yeah,
pop up.
a lot of
and
a lot of the Crab homies are really like, a lot of those dudes get me fucking hyped. Weird Bishop Illustrations.
Okay.
That's a good buddy of mine. He actually did Sleep's cover. The one that's got like the mech on it. I can't remember.
Battle of the Angels.
Yeah, I think so. It was pretty recent. Whatever one of the recent ones.
And we're gonna have Sleep Sinatra on the show here soon as well.
Fuck yeah.
So that'll be sick to talk about. I'm excited to talk about that project too, because that one's crazy, and I dig all of the Easter egg hunts that he's doing with that project.
Yeah, I heard. I haven't looked at it yet, but I heard there's like a like a game on the
there's some
album or
secret
something
shit.
like that.
There's some secret shit going on.
So crazy,
He's got
bro.
some levels.
Yeah, that's Weird Bishop. He's honestly fucking dope. He's so good.
Okay. Cool. That's nice to know too, where it's, how we were talking about earlier, where it's like the inspirations for the people who you find inspiring.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
and like that's the thing. There's so many good illustrators. Right now.
So I'm gonna gas you up here a little bit. I was gonna ask about how it was, in like kind of the aftermath of winning the Kenny Beats beat battle. And just how you feel like that helped or like progressed your creative endeavors.
Was that like 2 years ago now? I think that was like 2 years ago.
Bro, it might be honestly 2020.
Wasn't last year.
I don't think it was last year, so it might have been 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago. It was definitely 2 years ago because I was living in that apartment.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yep.
Yeah. Fuck. That shit was cool. It was really crazy. I will say right now that like that's the only reason that I can make the music that I make now. Like I get a lot of not a lot of compliments. Like I'm fine. Like I do okay. Like people think my stuff is okay.
Especially after the live shows, people touch down.
I get some good compliments and stuff. So the only reason I'm able to make that shit is because I won that beat battle and Kenny literally gave me Ableton. Like.
Which I'll link this video down below because I think it's clipped and stuff like that.
It's on YouTube.
But I mean, like he doesn't have the hookup to just be giving anybody and everybody Ableton, and Ableton doesn't really be just giving out licenses and stuff like that. So when he reached out and got that license for you, it was definitely a pretty big deal.
It was fucked. It was so fucked. And I was like, we were at a friend's house, me and, gosh, it was a couple of the guys. I think Kev was there. Perp might have been there. A few of the guys were there, though. And a couple of us were like in the Twitch chat while he was doing it. And I was like,
Sick.
It happened. The beat battle happened like whatever day it normally happened. I think it was like Friday or Monday. I literally took off. Like the reason my work days from my 9 to 5 job are Mondays and Fridays off is because of the Kenny Beats beat battle. Like,
okay.
That's the only reason I have Mondays and Fridays off. So I'm assuming it's on Mondays.
Shouts out Kenny Beats.
Yeah, I hope he watches this.
We're making schedules based around your streams, or we're back.
That sounds so corny, but I was really
really.
trying to get better at beats. Like I was trying to,
and
not
that's
fucking suck.
A place where you can do it,
and also that's a place where people are gonna shit on you if you suck. Like,
it's a trial by fire.
100%. And it's not like people are dicks in there, but like they're not also gonna just like gas up a beat that's fucking trash. Like
which is, I mean, why would you want just yes men?
Won that shit Monday, which was crazy because Brittany's like cleaning the house and I was like sitting like at my little like couch and I was like, he was on stream with JD and Domi and they like picked my shit right at the end and I was like, what the fuck? I wasn't even supposed to, something I don't think a lot of people realize about that too is I wasn't even supposed to be in that battle. Like I didn't qualify. I was number 11. Right? Or like 12 or something. No, I was number 12. Somebody got disqualified for already putting a beat in. Like somebody had already won prizes, so they got kicked out.
Oh, okay.
And then another person deleted their beat, so there wasn't anything there. So he went to the next one down. So there were 2 spots.
Wow.
So I was 12 and I was like the last one. It was really crazy.
Yeah, bro.
So that happened and that was super nuts. And then just like a week later, I end up doing the beat breakdown,
Yeah.
Hilarious too, because I really did make that beat with only 8 tracks. Like,
in like the trial version.
In the trial version, you get Ableton Live Lite, and the one I had, they let you save and you could export. I was making beats, like you can do shit with it.
Limitedly.
It's very limited, but you can do shit with it. Yeah, I made the breakdown, whatever. Like a week goes by, and Distro too, or Distorpian, the dude who runs like I think it's his Discord or whatever it is. He like hit me back and he was like, "Yo, like thanks for sending the video," because he had previously asked for it. They were like, people send in their breakdowns, like you should do that. Don't know if he'll watch it, but you should. And I was like, cool, send it. He was like, dope, thank you, whatever. week goes by, and I'm at the homie's house. We're having a session. Like, we were writing, like, for an album. This was back when Dem Kids was a thing.
Okay.
We were writing stuff for that. And my phone starts blowing up, and it's Distorpian, and he's like, you better fucking hop in the Twitch stream. Like, they're talking about you right now. Like, they're watching your fucking...
The beat video.
They're watching your beat video. Kenny's watching my stuff, whatever. And he gets the part where I'm like, I don't have Ableton Live. I only have Ableton Live, blah, blah. And he paused it, and he's like, hold on. Like, there's a video on my Instagram. You can go watch it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. We're linking it,
Yeah,
too.
we'll link it. And that's what happened. Yeah. You can go watch it. I don't need to explain it. That's what happened. I ended up getting Ableton. And then it was crazy because, like, I got so much fucking attention from that shit. Just, like, off of people, like, seeing the video go around. Like, that's, like, my most played video on my Instagram still, 2 years later. But I personally, and not a lot of people would do this, but I personally, I think, let it get to me. Like, my head. Like, I let it go to my head a lot.
Yeah.
Because then when the month goes by of everybody, like, the hype dying down,
It's like the show hole or the vacuum that you feel after completing something.
It's like, bro, it's like, wow, no one cares about me no more. So it was a really big double-edged sword. I'm so grateful for everything that I got, and I'm also grateful for that experience.
And you've shown that you can do it.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you're talented enough to pull one of the current biggest, like, hip-hop producers' attention and be like, okay, hold your own. So I mean, it's a thing that you should take pride in, but I understand what you're saying, where it's
right.
That vacuum sometimes can be heavy.
The thing is that I think even though that was only 2 years ago, like, I've definitely matured over the past 2 years, especially people who know me. Like, you could probably vouch for it.
Yeah.
I now have a way different head of thinking about that. But back then, I was just like, damn, like, I'm so discouraged. Like, I finally win something, and then all the fucking hype dies out. And
yeah,
it's like,
and
bro, like,
and this is a message to anybody watching. You might not think it, but you'll have so many opportunities in your life, and you should take the ones that you feel comfortable in taking and follow those endeavors. But if maybe the end goal doesn't meet your expectations, like, there's nothing wrong with just accepting that piece for what it is and just moving on towards the next thing.
Actually, that's probably, like, I feel like you can learn a lot from doing that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can learn about, like, how you deal with the situation.
Yep.
And that way, like, I feel like it's, like, not a thing of, like, not getting your hopes high, but it's more about, like, just realizing that not everything has to be this grandstand.
Yeah.
Fucking,
it's life is little victories.
Yeah.
It's not the one big make or break.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing overcoming the accomplishments that a lot of people put before themselves and make out to be these mountainous tasks.
Well, and there's so many people who talk about it too, where it's like comparing yourself to, like, all these other artists that are popping. Like, it's really hard to not, I'm 28. It's really hard to not be like, damn, the kid who's 16 is popping off. But, like, bro, like, we're in different realms.
We're
like,
in different realms.
There's completely different lanes.
Different
like,
life paths.
100%.
Everything.
Like, it's not a cut and dry, like, black and white thing. Like, there are so many other factors at play, I feel like, as far as, like, the steps in which you're going in life. Like, it's not just black and white. Like, there's just a lot of different stuff in between.
Yeah.
For everyone.
So I made the joke earlier that I had a bad segue, and it actually kind of turned out to be a good segue. This is a bad segue. So what's one thing that you think would bring your creative level to, like, just its next rising?
Not working.
Not working?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't even
not
mean
having the drastic 9 to 5.
It's not even not working. I don't care about that.
And it's not even 9 to 5s. It's just working 8 hours. It doesn't typically have to be between 9 and 5. It can be,
I don't care what it is.
11 to 7.
Yeah, bro.
Fuck that
fucking
shit.
2 to 10. Like, I don't care.
2 to 10s, those are terrible.
And, like, also, like,
yeah,
like,
not working.
Money, bro.
I feel it.
That sounds so corny, but, like, money, as far as, like, I would love...
Capitalism kills art.
But I would fucking love some real equipment. I hate, like, everything I do is, like, a lot of it's MIDI. I have a guitar. Like, I have a live bass, but like I don't have fucking drums. I don't have like. I would love that shit. That's the type of shit that I think would really take things for me personally to like a different
being
level.
able to like cultivate a space where it's just the music room
and you can just shut the door and not say shit to anybody, and nobody's gonna fucking text you. Nobody's gonna, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like nobody's gonna, just like full, like, it's almost like what is that word I'm thinking of? Like unstifled, like creative space.
Yeah.
That's such a
liberating,
which like I'm preaching to the fucking choir.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But like people like Kellen Ellis and the Count,
yeah, dude,
and stuff like that.
Seeing guys like that do it, it's like it's fucking tangible. Like it is, you know.
It is tangible, and you know what? There is, I feel like, more than enough resources and ways to make it a reality within even like a 10-year time span with your talent. So, I think we have some homies too that are basically self-sufficient off of their music career alone.
Yeah, Malcolm Purp.
So we know people like that.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing when we're in that hemisphere. It's not a strange or unfathomable goal.
Mm-hmm.
As a producer, man, I'm killing it with these segues. As a producer, do you think like sample digging is becoming kind of like obsolete?
Oh man, I love this topic, but I hate it at the same
I
time
know.
because like I feel like everybody's got such divided opinions about sampling.
Yeah. Well, and we brought it up last time when Eddie Branch was here. We're here to kind of make people mad sometimes.
Yeah,
So,
I do agree with that. Like to a point, right? Like I think I don't think it's becoming obsolete. I almost feel like it's becoming maybe like more niche, but I don't even feel like that's true. 'Cause still like some of the biggest artists, like even the dudes who get played on the radio, they're still sampling.
Yeah.
Like their producers are still making these beats out of samples from songs from back in the 60s. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Do you think people are just maybe getting lazier with it? And
I actually, I feel like yes. There's like a whole section of producers out there that definitely are taking shit from Splice and just like 4-bar loop, drums, blah blah blah. That's it.
That's
you know
the
what I'm
beat.
saying? That's the beat. But then you got guys like the dudes in the collective that I'm in, which is like What the Future Sounds Like,
Mhm.
which like, Vilde fucking makes crazy shit. Like Sodio, I was listening to some of his shit today. He's fucking crazy. Like, I don't feel like it's becoming obsolete. I feel like if anything, it's just changing a little bit because people are starting to make their own samples now.
Yeah.
And like, not to mention with all of the copyright shit, all of the, I mean, we were talking about it earlier, the fucking Ed Sheeran lawsuit. Like, there's so many things against sampling
Yeah.
that I don't know if it's becoming obsolete, but people are definitely having to like be sneakier about it. We're having to hide stuff more.
Yeah. I feel like that's
Or
just
pay
because
a fuck ton of money, probably.
yeah, and two, the evolution of sampling has definitely changed from when maybe like fair use laws or the 4 pillars of like fair use were established. And
Sure.
It's just one of those things where, of course, music is always going to be evolving faster than the laws that contain it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And I mean, with AI, kind of like I think the corniest shit ever is like the AI that finds samples.
yeah,
I think that shit's so crazy. And that's scary. That's like, bro, like don't do that.
yeah, it is scary. It is too, just like, I don't know.
Not
It's
like
some
I'm saying,
Randall
and I'm not
shit.
even trying to say like it's scary for me or some shit, because it's not like I'm not trying to say like my shit's big enough,
No,
like
but
my
just-
samples.
yeah.
But like it's like, bro, like there's some of my favorite artists are sample artists or like sample based artists, and it's like, bro, like I couldn't imagine not listening to some people. I don't
Just
because of how
UMG.
yeah, right. And it's like my thing
Sony.
is too is like I liked your comment about the laziness too, because I do feel like when it comes to like gospel samples or soul samples or anything that's like got like a pretty regular 4-bar loop, like a lot of times it's like hooks. There are also people who will just like throw a 4-bar loop in and throw trap drums and an 808 over it. I mean, I've done it, but like I also like that's all they do, and I feel like that is kind of lazy, right? Especially when you like sampling how people do it now. The only reason that that's a thing is because dudes like Jay Dilla and like people before him that I don't even know about. I'm
like
sure.
Ross G,
all these people, you know, that
Sam I Am,
crazy, you know. He was like, he's been more recent, but like, yeah, like it just like comes back to the respect thing that we were talking about earlier with music, where I don't think people see it so much as like I want to know how many of these people are digging for hours before they find something they like or that they feel like they're getting the vibe from or like whatever. Like, yeah, because that's part of the culture too. Like, same, like digging is like a huge part of it. Like, and I mean, with shit that's on Splice, like you don't really like.
Yeah, it's
you don't fucking got to. Like, there's not, and I'm not shitting on Splice either, because that's some good shit. Like, I feel like there's positives to a lot of stuff in music nowadays, but there's also negatives to it too. It's really hard to pinpoint a thing.
I know it's a hard topic, but I wanted to at least.
No, I love the conversation just because there are so many different avenues that it can go off into. Yeah, and every avenue almost always has like a good point.
Yeah, so, or like a decent sound argument.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Going back into like production stylings and stuff like that, what's something that in your music you think is definably like your sound?
I feel like, well, see, this is where I was talking about earlier. Like, everybody's always like, bro, you're so fire. But I'm just like, bro, no. Like, I don't think I have the same confidence in my shit all the time that everybody else does. Yeah. So I don't, and like half the time I'm like, man, this sounds like this. Like, cause I know what I like. So like, I feel like I have it in my head already that I'm like, this is already sounding like some shit that I like. Okay. But I guess if I could pick something, it would maybe like how I mix my guitars. Okay. That's like the only thing I can think.
I would say it's definitely like your mixing is pronounced. It's definitely like, not like a lot of things that I hear locally.
That's tight. I fuck with that. That would be like the one. If I could, I guess, pick something. If I could just like make myself pick something, I would say like how I mix stuff. That would probably be the one thing. Because like,
I'd say your drums also have a really nice swing to them. You have a really good ear for making like good like pockets. Fire.
Yeah, I fuck
like
with
you
that
listen
too.
to like it's same way you can tell Jay Dilla drums.
Yeah,
I can tell when you made drums versus just using like
a flip or whatever.
Yeah,
that's cool. Okay, I can agree with that too. Just because like, but I'm obsessed with drums. Yeah. I want to get a drum set so bad, bro. I really, really, really love live drums like that. I love live drums more. Like, I can make like a trap beat, but I'd rather put like live drums over it instead of like trap drums.
Exactly.
Same. I'll totally take the same pattern, not because I think the pattern's cool, but I'll use like live drum sounds because I think that sounds way better. I love drums. They're fucking great. So maybe that's why. I'm glad that like sticks out a bit. That's tight as fuck. I'm hyped on that.
Yeah, you definitely don't short sell your drums. You go all in. And I appreciate that as a producer.
I'm trying to go even farther in with those. So
true that. Figure that out. Just off top, like, what do you think would be like a dream show that you'd love to play?
Like with people?
Yeah.
I think it would be, for me personally, I think it would be so cool for Quiet to open up for like bro, if Quiet could open up for like go Quiet to Quiet, Red Veil, JPEG Mafia.
Shouts out Red Veil and
shouts out Red Veil, shouts out JPEG. And then like I would want a crazy, like the final would be someone crazy. So like I would, fuck everybody. This is me and what I would want.
Yeah. Because I asked you the question.
Right. So for me, if we're talking about like rappers, right? We're talking about like, are we talking about rappers and stuff?
It could be whatever. You could have fucking the White Stripes come out and fucking play the final.
Because I'm thinking of like producers too, because like then you open up the doors for like Alchemist and Knowledge, and it's like, man, that's not fucking fair. I'm gonna do two. I'm gonna do a rap one and a producer one. Okay. So I'm gonna do the rap one. So for the rap one for me, it would be Quiet opening for Red Veil, JPEG Mafia, and Tyler.
Okay.
There'd be such a fucking fire show. Just because it's just like they're so different. Oh fuck, that would be so good.
But again, like the energy that would be,
it's all so
brought in that
high.
fucking
Yeah,
stage.
there would be so much fucking energy, dude. That shit would be crazy. Production wise, though, I would say like I don't even know if I want to be in this show. I just want to go to this show.
Yeah, like I just want to go.
I don't think I'd
you gotta
like,
play.
If I gotta play, I would just like open up with some beats, I guess. Okay, so it'd be like me, Mind Design.
Shouts out Ringo.
Yeah, shouts out Ringo. What up, G? John Wayne and Knowledge for sure. Actually, I feel like that would be such a fucking fun set. Dude.
Yeah,
and also like those three, like beats wise, those dudes are like, those are kind of like my monoliths personally, just because like, man. Well, you introduced me to John for sure, you know.
Okay.
And Yuletide Bangers, I don't know what song it is. If I saw it, I could see it instantly. I can't remember what track it is, but that shit was like really cemented a lot of my love for John.
Oh, dude, yeah. Shouts out Yuletide Bangers.
Oh man,
that was
it's
so needed. Can't wait for the second one.
Oh fuck, dude. And then Mind Design has this song called Feel. I think it's called Feels.
Yeah,
Feel.
yeah.
And I was like going through a really, really rough time a few years ago, just like mentally and just like all the stuff that was happening like in my life and like where I was at physically, like the household and stuff. It's just, and that song, like, bro, I was working at Crescent Moon and like that song got me through a lot of evenings where I was like closing by myself.
Yeah.
And like, just like
having to sit with it.
And it was just, yeah, literally. And it wasn't even like, no, it's busy. No. It was literally like, doors are closed. There's no one in the fucking shop. It's literally just me like cleaning shit, listening to this song, and like just like feeling this like heartache basically. So like, and then for knowledge, when Hood Dreams came out, that was right around the time that I was really getting into McKay Felt, who did the cover for Hood Dreams. So it was, it's so funny. The people that I really enjoy have parts in my heart for specific reasons. Like everything is a scene for all of the shit that I really enjoy. So like that would be like my monolith for shows.
Okay.
Oh, fuck, man, that shit would be so cool.
Well, fucking A. Okay, so we're pretty much at the end of the interview. I got a couple more questions here, but before that, we're gonna go back to our sponsor. I think they got it all figured out now. I'm looking here, and hopefully everything's gonna be figured out. So we're gonna switch it over and be right back with a few more questions from Flannel Lewis and also a little set. So stay tuned. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Thanks for joining me out here today. It's a beautiful day out here in nature. You can hear the birds call, you can feel the wind blow. It's really nice. What isn't nice, though, is coming to these places and finding trash. Luckily, we haven't found any today, but you know there's some out there. Any place that you go to, a local park, maybe a nice little sitting area that has some trees around it, there's probably some trash somewhere. So this week's sponsor is leaving places better than you found them. It's not a hard task, but it's something that every individual can do to make spaces that we all share just a little bit better. All right. Thank you so much for watching the episode, and we're going to get right back to Flannel Lewis and Kamakauzzy, and stay tuned.
Wow! Whoa! Who would have guessed that would be such a good sponsor?
I'm elated that we were able to nail it this time. Sorry about earlier. We got it down this time. So really, just good. To end it off, I have some community questions that I made up from people who are just interested in what you have going on. So the first one is, how long have you been vegan?
I wish Brittany was here. She knows. I feel like it's been like 4 years, 5 years.
4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years. Yeah.
Nice.
Something like that.
Has it been difficult in your journey at all?
Probably in the beginning, yeah. Just because I was a picky ass eater.
Yeah.
I'm still like getting over that.
I feel you.
Yeah, fuck food. But like
Brittany's been super like supportive of like all my food decisions and stuff. So she's been helping out a lot like
Sick.
over the years. So that honestly like it was at first just because I was like more so just like the urge to be like, I'm gonna buy this fucking Snickers right here. You know what I mean?
Yep. Getting over the impulses.
Yeah, I'd say that was probably the hardest part.
True that. Another one here is, what was the best cartoon growing up on TV? And also, what is the best cartoon now?
Currently. Ugh. Jeez. Growing up, that one's super hard because I liked Aqua Teen Hunger Force and like Metalocalypse, but I also really enjoyed like Afro Sam. You know what? I will say for me personally, I'm gonna go with, and I'm gonna say this because it was something that always felt like when I saw it when I was a kid, it never left my brain.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Afro Samurai.
Afro Samurai?
Because also that was a really really young introduction to unknowing introduction to hip hop too.
Yeah.
RZA fucking producing like that whole fucking soundtrack, like
that introduction to anime.
Too. Samuel L. Jackson was fucking voicing Ninja, and like I don't know, man, like that everything about that show was so fucking good when it came out, and I was also like 12.
Yeah, and it plays to like the young kind of like wow samurai
because it's
hip-hop,
dark
and
because it's dark,
it is
bro.
Dark.
It's and the themes were also themes of like loss and like deception and shit, and like turning your back on your friends and all that. Like that was a huge, and revenge. Like so like hearing those themes when you're 12 years old was really intense for me. I loved fucking Afro Samurai.
Okay, what about now?
Now, I will say it's still up there because I love that show. Now it's hard because there are a lot of like Adventure Time and Steven Universe,
True,
Over the Garden Wall. Regular show even like those cartoons for me set some fucking standards.
Yeah, definitely.
As far as like cartoons go, and I know there's stuff that I haven't watched.
Wise.
Yeah, 100%. I know there's stuff I haven't watched that is probably great. But then you got stuff by guys like Jesse Moynihan, like and his brother, who did this. It was like a 5-minute short called Manly.
Okay,
and it came out like 4 or 6 years ago, something like that. I feel bad because I haven't watched a whole lot of recent stuff. Honestly, I've been really really into Studio Ghibli movies and watching different animations from people I know.
Okay.
But
I'll still take like Adventure Time and
that would be honestly for me. I have that shit tattooed on my arm like that.
True.
That for me that's what it is. Like that's my like bar that got set. It was Adventure Time just because like bro great topics. Again, super great topics, super great
beautiful
art.
Continuity between the stories
the
too as it evolved.
So fucking good. Like it was great.
Yeah.
And also
we could gush about it for hours.
Also, I learned. I took a class from the dude who did the background art.
I remember you telling me about that
in the show.
Yeah.
And I did a storyboard test for the show when I was like 18 or 19. Like I didn't ever come into anything. It was never anything like that.
But it's still like, I've done that.
But I did that shit, and so I think that also is why, like, Adventure Time really takes the cake for me in a lot of shit. Also, Steven Universe is fucking amazing.
Beautiful story. Rebecca Sugar slays.
Flawless, bro.
Another community question that I made up is craziest skate trick that you've landed.
Where's Job when you need him, man? Probably like I haven't skated since last summer. I took the winter off. I don't like skate.
We're in Nebraska. It's not fun.
We have a park that's indoors, but I'm cheap, so I'm cheap as fuck. But I would say like I hard flipped the 3-set at the Norfolk skate park. Shout out the Norfolk homies way back before it got rebuilt.
Okay.
Other than that, probably just like a kickflip from a set. Like I've kickflipped a couple sets. Nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy, but you can hold your own in a game of skate.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Fuck with me. I could do that shit.
Fuck yeah. Okay, so I got the last community question here.
Yeah.
You think that there's monsters at the bottom of the ocean?
I love this topic. Yeah, I do.
You do?
I think I don't know if it's like monsters.
Not monsters in the way that we know them.
Probably not. I would love to believe that like there's some crazy like Atlantis, bro. I love
there's something down there.
I love that theory.
I'm
Sure.
saying. Okay.
I'm gonna say yeah.
I think so too. I feel like, you know, there's all this push to explore space. But, you know, we got to figure out what's on the ocean floor.
There's like there's a lot of stuff. The Earth is an interesting place.
Earth is an interesting space, and there's definitely monsters at the bottom of the ocean.
Yes, I agree.
So thank you for asking the questions, community. I wanted to give one last shout out to the homie Flannel Lewis. You'll see some pictures here of some album artworks that he has conducted and illustrated for the homies and stuff like that. We'll have links to everything down in the bottom. You want to plug anything too real quick before we wrap up?
Follow Quiet to Quiet.
Quiet to Quiet. Yeah.
You can follow my stuff. Follow Big Mike from the Woods.
True. Crazy with the camera.
Crazy with the camera. Yeah, there's probably a lot more. I'm so sorry to anybody that I'm not.
No, hey, it's your show. It's not their show.
Yo. I got music videos.
Music
on
videos.
My channel.
Yeah,
It's
we're gonna
Flannel
link
Lewis on YouTube.
Yep, we're gonna link the Flannel Lewis YouTube channel. We actually linked in. Things didn't all work out, but we have the scrapped video idea.
Say the video I put out. Honestly,
I love the video.
I
still fuck
cool
with it.
FOYER, go check it out.
Yeah.
Kazi helped us film it, and my buddy Garrett laid in a dirt hole for it. So
Yep. So
shouts out Garrett, man.
check all that out. Thanks so much, Flannel, for stopping by on
Thank
this
you for having
lovely
me.
afternoon. And so I believe we're gonna wrap it up with a beat set.
Yeah, I mean, I could try. I just realized that I don't have like my shit. I don't have my keyboard. I just have my laptop. So I mean, I can like play a couple beats for you.
Yeah.
I don't have like a set.
We're gonna change up the camera view here so we can get a little bit more of a dynamic view. But other than that, that's been the session. I have little else to give you other than you should subscribe.
Yeah.
You should.
Do you have your? Is it called something? What's the actual channel called on YouTube?
So my channel is just called Kamakauzzy.
Kamakauzzy. Okay.
You can find this video on YouTube.
Yeah.
Under the channel Kamakauzzy. It is called The Session, which is the interview series that we're doing.
So
but
you type in Kamakauzzy The Session on YouTube.
Yeah. And but you know, if you're watching this video this far into the video, I hope you found it already. So other than that, we're gonna get into this set. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and like that dang video. Go back and watch the interview that we did with the homie Eddie Branch. And be on the lookout for whatever else I decide to do, because I don't even know. All right, peace.
What are you doing?
Wanted to say that. It's the rap Diablo, macho when I drop flows. Mark gets raised up, it's me. Colder than gazpacho, colder than the mono. Rapping head honcho, rocking shows like I was Bono. I go, play a couple keys on the piano. The industry a lie, all the promises follow me. I can show you where we be. How'd I get my G-Pass? None of your fucking these raps bring a joint together like a knee. Fuck the little 8-ball, show me where the keys at. The time continues, Mortal Kombat finish them. Trying to find a balance, reaching for my equilibrium. Fools, I pity them. I'm not a human, I'm amphibian. Fake superhero like the mystery man. I ain't saving nothing. I'm getting faded till the angels come. How do the famous function? The A-list can't be trusted. I strong arm them like I play the trumpet. Bottom barrel of society. I tell my bitch if she don't love me, then just lie to me. I'm finer than a winery. Take it from the rich, this is piracy. Finally, I don't even need my fucking arm. Come and die with me. Cause everybody got home. Said everybody got their home. Yeah, said everybody got their home. Said everybody got their home.
That it? Hey, Flannel Lewis, everybody. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course, bro. Anything you want to say to all the people?
Pay your producers, bro.
Pay your producers.